Shift A and add a UV sphere with segments set to 16 and rings to 8. Now press Ctrl+2 to add a subdivision modifier of level 2, then right-click and select Shade Smooth. Tab to enter edit mode, switch to either front or side view and turn on wireframe with Shift+Z. Select bottom part and delete the vertices. A to select all and move the mesh up so the origin point is at the bottom. Then select the top part and delete those as well. Now select the top loop with Alt left click, move that down and scale down a bit as well. Now Alt left click to select a vertical edge loop, hold down Shift to select multiple edge loops, select every alternate ones, then S to scale down and Shift+Z to scale only on X and Y axis. Now Ctrl+B to bevel those loops a tiny bit. Now select the top edge loop and press Shift+S and select cursor to selected. Back in object mode, add a curve path. Scale it down in edit mode and rotate it 90 degrees. Delete the top vertices. Then in the curve properties under geometry, increase the bevel depth. Lower down the bevel resolution, and then the shape resolution as well. With a curve point selected, you can use Alt+S to control the thickness. Along with this, use E to extrude and make the shape of the stem. There is also an option to close the endpoints with a face. Back in object mode, add a subdivision modifier to it. Now in the edit mode of the pumpkin, turn on face selection with 3 and select the front faces, and press S, Y and 0 to flatten them. Now place the 3D cursor to the front with Shift right mouse button, and add a curve path. Scale it down in edit mode and rotate it 90 degrees. Shift D to duplicate and move it to the side. Select top vertices and press F to connect them. Then select middle vertices, press X and dissolve vertices. Move it to front so it's visible. You can right-click and subdivide to create new curve points. In object mode, add a new mesh cube. Scale that down in edit mode. Right-click and subdivide. In the operator panel, play with the fractal value. We will also use the proportional tool later, so it's not really necessary. Now in the modifier properties under Generate, select Array and increase the count. Add another modifier to it. This time, select Curve under Deform option. With the Picker tool, select the curve object as the newly added curve. If it doesn't work straight away, try setting a different deformation axis. Add subdivision modifier with Ctrl+2. Then increase the array count and use X slider to minimize the gap between them. Now let's apply the array and curve modifier. Then in edit mode, press O to turn on proportional tool. You can press Alt+O, so this affects only the connected mesh. Press G and scroll the mouse wheel to adjust the size of influence circle. Change the shape and size so they don't look the same. Now back in object mode, place the cursor in the center and add a plane. In edit mode, rotate it 90 degrees by pressing R, X and 90. Then scale it down. Press Ctrl+R and add some vertical loop cuts. Then 1 to turn on vertex mode and tweak the top vertices so they aren't sticking out. Now in the Modifiers tab under Generate, select Edge Split. Lower the angle to 0 and then apply the modifier. What it will do is separate all the faces of the mesh. Now change the pivot point to individual origins and scale the mesh on X-axis to leave tiny gaps between them. Now to create a small window in the door, add a circle. In Operator panel, set the X rotation to 90 and lower down the radius. With wireframe on, delete the bottom half of the circle. Then extrude the endpoints and F to connect. A to select all and F to create a face. E to extrude. I to inset and extrude again. Then we can also add a bevel modifier to it. Next we will create a board displaying some text. So add a cube and scale that down. I will then shift select the window and then copy the bevel modifier to the board. Now add a text object on the board. Rotate it 90 degrees on X-axis, and scale it down. In the text properties, choose a font to write. Now to write, enter Edit mode and hit backspace to delete the pre-written text. Now write something friendly and welcoming. Then you can add thickness to it. Lower down the resolution. And adjust the character spacing if needed. Now select one side face of the pumpkin, I to inset it, and E to extrude it inwards, I to inset again. Then with wireframe on, tweak the corner vertices to create a window shape. Now delete the other half of the pumpkin and add a mirror modifier to it. To fix the issue in the center, move the mirror above the subdivision modifier. And to break the symmetry, we will first need to apply the mirror modifier. Then in edit mode, tweak some vertices and use proportional tool as well to change the shape. For the stairs, let's first add a plane and scale it down, 2 for edge selection, and then extrude the front edge down. Make the shape of the stair. Then duplicate the stones and enter its edit mode. With cursor on the bottom stone, press L to select it. Then Ctrl+I to select everything other than itself, and delete them. Then scale it up and duplicate to create the rest of the stairs, and use proportional tool to make them look a bit different. For the ground, let's add a metaball. Press S and Z to scale it down on Z axis. Then from top view, make duplicates, and probably scale some of them down. In the metaball properties, you can change the resolution value for better results. However, this also increased our poly count, so we can add a decimate modifier to lower it. But first we will need to right-click and select Convert to Mesh. Then add a decimate modifier and lower the ratio value. Now duplicate the main pumpkin, and in its edit mode, Alt-click to select bottom edge loop, and press F to fill it, then I to inset it. Now select both the window faces, and then from the Select menu, select More. If you have a numpad, you can use Ctrl plus numpad plus button. Then X and dissolve vertices. Now press K to activate the knife tool, then create eyes and mouth with left clicking. To detach, click the right mouse button. Once done, hit Enter. I tried to make my cuts where there are already edges. This way I can minimize the shading issues. Now select all the faces which need to be carved. To get better visibility, you can click the TV icon, which will disable the subsurf modifier temporarily. Press X and delete faces. And to add thickness, add a solidify modifier. You can further tweak vertices to get the desired shape. Now you may scale it down, rotate, and place it to front. Make a few more copies. To create birds, add a plane on top. Scale that down in edit mode and / to isolate the selection. Ctrl+R to add a loop cut at the center, then move it down a bit. Back in object mode, add a subdivision modifier to it. And bevel the loop in edit mode. Add a couple more loops to create the wing shape. Exit local view with / and duplicate the birds. Rotate them a bit. Now to make some ghosts, add a plane. In edit mode, press X and select collapse edges and faces. That way we're left with just a single vertex. Make sure you are in vertex mode by pressing 1. Then from the front view, Control and right-click to extrude the vertex. And select Skin modifier from the Generate menu. Press A to select all the vertices, and press Ctrl+A to scale them down. Add subdivision modifier to it in object mode of level 1. Hotkey is Ctrl+1. Then turn on X-ray view and create the shape of a ghost, the harmless ones. Use Ctrl-A to scale up or down individual vertices. Now to create the eyes and mouth, I will have to apply both the skin and subdivision modifier. Then add another subdivision modifier. Now select two faces on the top, and press I to inset. Press I twice to inset individual faces. E to extrude inwards. Then select bottom two faces and inset them as well. I twice to turn off individual faces. Move down the middle edge. And extrude the faces inwards. Back in object mode, right-click and set origin to geometry. Then scale, move, and duplicate. Now it's time to add a camera to our scene. Once you add a camera, head over to View menu. Align View and select Active Camera to view. After that, press G and then middle mouse button to zoom out. Now drag the corner of the viewport to split it. Then in the first one, press T to hide the toolbar, and then scroll above and hide the gizmos and overlay as well. Switch to Render View, and then in the Render Properties, select Engine as Cycles. Press Ctrl+B and drag over a certain area. So Blender renders only that region for now. Set the device to GPU for faster results. Do make sure the best GPU is turned on in the Systems tab. Lower down the viewport samples for a faster viewport render. Now in the World Properties, set the strength to 0. Then bring the Snap Pie menu and set the cursor to World Origin. And add an area light. Move it up on Z. I will then rotate it with pivot set to 3D cursor. In the light properties, there are settings to change power and size. What's working in my case may not work on yours, since the size of the models may differ. So play with different settings as well as the rotation and position of the light. Here I am putting one in the back and then one to the front. Also, with both lights selected, press M and move them to a new collection to keep track of them easily. Now we will color our scene. First, let's select the pumpkin. Then in Material Properties, select New. Under Base Color, choose a color. Same process with the stem. Choose something greenish, and you can increase the roughness a bit, so the light reflects a bit less. For the windows in the pumpkin, since they are part of the same object, we need to first select the part in Edit mode. So select both the windows, and hit the plus button to add a new material slot. Then hit Assign. From the Surface option, we can select the Emission option. However, this doesn't look good enough. So click on the yellow dot near the base color, and select Black Body, and set the strength to 3. You can use the Select More function to select extra faces and assign the same material. Add materials to the rest of object same way. I will display the exact hex code of colors I used on screen. I also added small point lamps inside the pumpkins, since they've been carved out. And one more point lamp near the front door to illuminate just that area. Now I don't want this light to affect the ghosts, since the ghosts will have their own emission material. For this, we'll use Blender's light linking feature. First, select the front light and go to Object Properties. Under Shading, select New Light Linking. Then press A to select everything, and then Control and left mouse click to deselect objects where you don't want the light. Ghosts in this case. Now from the outliner, drag the selected objects to the light linking collection. Then for the backdrop I added a simple plane, and then an area light. Rotate the light 90 degrees. Give the plane dark material. And change the light shape from square to disc to get a more circular light fall-off. Also in the render properties and under color management, set view to standard. And look to high contrast. Now select the ghost and then switch to Shader Editor. In the left viewport, press / to enter its local view. Since we are unable to see anything, increase the light strength in world properties for time being. Now press Shift+A and add an emission shader. Then a mix shader. Connect both of them. Then add a color ramp node and plug color to the factor input. Then add a layer weight node and connect facing to factor in the color ramp to get that ghostly effect. In the color ramp, play with the sliders to get desired results. Then in bottom I will set the emission color to greenish. And that's it for the Halloween pumpkin. Make sure the render sample is set to something low for fast render, and denoise option is checked. And also save the project before rendering. After rendering, save the image and share it with the world. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something from this video. If you did, leave a like and comment something to help the channel.